we're going to be having a conversation with Ohemaa Woyeje. She is an entrepreneur. She's a radio presenter. She's a media person. She's been in this business for longer than some of your children's years, okay? So if you're less than 20, there's your grandma. Yeah, and then there's nothing like being in a field for so long and deciding to bring some fruit out of it. I've seen people who have like been legends in certain fields and they haven't even brought out 2 sheets of what they've enjoyed or what their experiences are. But the woman right here, she's brought up a whole book and she launched it on Saturday. The book is doing well. I'll be reading it. I'll be sharing some tidbits with you whilst I'm learning, and that's how it goes. But we have Ohemaa Woyeje.
I know, boy.
You don't feel bored. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you, Dada. Yourself?
I'm great.
Nice.
So the last time we saw, it was about you representing Ghana on an international stage and all of that. And after that, what has been happening?
A lot. A lot. Even around the time I was still working on the completion of my book.
Okay.
And so when I was done, finally, I had to do the massive launch and a Thanksgiving concert.
Wow.
And thankfully, it was massive last Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
I am,
Great.
Yes,
That's nice.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to put this book together?
A year and few. That was when I was 1 month pregnant, carrying my second baby in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Yeah. I had an earlier plan to celebrate my 20 years this year. I started having that plan last year. So I remember even in one of my interviews with Zion Felix, he came to Amsterdam, we had an interview, and I mentioned it that I'm working on the book. Yeah, I was working on the book.
Great. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fact that you're putting your experience, 20 years on a sheet. Yeah, I think that was so, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so Ohemaa Woyeje, 20 years of doing one thing and getting perfect at it. Tell me the story.
Okay, so the story is out there already. Many of the stories are already on the internet.
It's best when it comes from you. Yes.
And then I've documented a summary of the plenty stories in the book.
I see.
Much polite. It is not attacking anybody. It is only narrating the occurrences, the things that happened in the last 20 years. So not too much controversy. It is very safe.
It's very safe.
And the advice I had from the forward writer, Mr. Godwin Avenobo.
Okay.
I used it. I used the advice.
Oh, yeah?
I took the advice. And so, yes, I had to.
Any regrets 20 years?
For me, I've always said I don't have regrets in life because the fact that we don't rehearse life before we experience it.
Oh.
So that means we should be ready for all the mistakes and enjoy the mistakes. We should be ready for the challenges and enjoy the challenges. Because without all these mistakes, the challenges, we will not have a story to tell. So what will come? Yeah. I see nothing wrong with what some people would like to do in reaction to who I am, what I do, the decisions I take, and all that. Because it's a free world, and people are entitled to have their own opinions.
It's very true.
I mean, you can't control how people should think. You can't direct that they like you. You can't say that nobody should ever insult me. So the fact that you don't have control over these things, you have to let them live because they will forever have their liberty to do what they want to do. So to please themselves whilst you please yourself.
Wow. Okay, I'm loving that. Coming out of a 20 years experience, that's really rich. Go with that. I mean, people have their opinions.
Yes.
It's like, it's their opinion. They can have it.
That's it.
But what you want to do and you set out to do, you do it really well. And for
it.
the fact that you've been consistent at it for 20 years, that's really great. But how are you able to manage family, juggle family and work, and then your entrepreneurial duties?
So it's just about planning and assigning people to the things that I can't do myself, because you pay them at the end of the day. So if it's my business, I have workers, I pay them to do it.
Yeah, like the bar, yes.
Yes. But radio work, I have done it for so many years. So even if I wake up from my dream right now, I wake up from my sleep, and you put me behind the console, I will
flow.
do everything that I'm supposed to do without looking at nothing. You know, the music, I don't even go with the playlist. It comes by what is happening around, what we're talking about and all of that. So it's not too much of work because of the experience I have had over the years. You know, I have done it consistently.
Yeah, that's right.
There's not been a break. The only breaks I have had was when I was going to deliver my daughter, my first daughter, my second daughter, far from that. And they were not even up to a year. My breaks, you know, so it's been consistent 20 years.
So there's this brouhaha in the space. People are talking about you and Delay. What's the story?
I think that people, you know, like I just said, people would always have their own opinion.
But what is the real story?
You know, I have not talked about her. People should know my brand, that I don't dwell on trends and viral stuff to survive. I've made it organically. That is my brand. So I am not into beefs. There are funny social media, internet beef and all of that. I don't beef. I'm not beefing. I made a reference to an interview we have had. We were having an interview and somebody asked why I answered the lady
the way you did.
The way I did. And I referenced the fact that the lady pretended one way or the other by saying that she doesn't know me on the show.
But were you guys friends, like?
No,
really
we are not
tight
supposed to be friends. I know you, but doesn't make us friends.
Okay.
But I can't pretend that I don't know you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have not talked about her. I have not insulted her. I have not gossiped about her. Why will I do so? What does she have that I don't have that I'm looking for from her? Reason why I will beef her.
Okay.
So sit down and analyze it. But people, you know, the internet must get busy. When the internet is busy, the internet owners makes money.
Money, okay.
These blogs money. Use the caption does not exist. But I'm not interested. I would have sued him because he wrote, I didn't say that anywhere in an interview. But these bloggers, you know how that is how they survive. So I only pity the right-thinking Ghanaian who has time to follow terrible captions. You know, all these things I addressed in my book. You know, the media terrain has changed. Over the years, it wasn't like that. Journalism has changed. It has taken dimensions.
For the good
so
or
people,
the bad?
a lot of the bad. You know, if you become popular right now, you're able to create your own blog. Even without no training, you are a journalist. You are very popular and you're making money out of that business. So it is up to us to be discerning to decipher where we pick our stories from. People don't even have time to after this our interview, if a blogger decides to pick any terrible caption, because with that terrible caption, people won't even come to watch. People won't come and follow and like and react and comment. Somebody can just pick, when they pick the captions, our audience, the people out there, they don't have time to come and monitor the interview to the end to ascertain whether what the blogger wrote is what happened. And then they begin insulting you. Some are praising, some are defending. The people that love you so much, they go defending you, and others will go insulting, and others will be worried. I've had a few people calling me from abroad. Ohemaa, please, no, I said, no, I don't have any issue with Delay. She's not my friend, neither is she my enemy. And I've not talked about her. I referenced her, and I did not lie in the reference. Okay. So where is the news? It is only because we are not paying attention to the important things in life. And we have decided to follow the dumb masses.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Because if you are not ready to know the truth and you judge based on lies, you are not being... Are you getting my point? You have to wake up. In this era, you only have to wake up. You are here when the news came out and it went viral that somebody came to media houses with a product that was a mixture of Fanta, Coke, and malt. And so now you are not waking up that. Everything can be in the internet space. So you have to train yourself, your mind, your psyche, and everybody around you that, Charlie, you know, everything you they see on the internet is the correct thing. The fact that even a whole media house is able to run an advert of a medication that is a terrible concoction. It tells you that the blogger would also fail.
That's right.
So you don't believe everything you see on the internet. Do you get me? I mean, you're insulting me for nothing. It makes you one way or the other a terrible human being because you are not using your psyche. And God has blessed everyone with the brains, with the mind. We have to think before we do our things. I judge you when I don't even know why I am judging you. I'm just falling on a hearsay, somebody's way of surviving, somebody's way of making money.
Yeah, that's
why will I judge you? I would be a foolish person to be doing that.
Great. So now
I don't beef.
I don't say Ohemaa dear, you
know
boy.
I'm not in any beef business. So yeah, still I know, but me if you see me vex and cry, still I know, boy.
Still
you get me?
Let's do it again. Ohemaa Woyeje. Okay, so people are home and wondering, 20 years.
Yes.
There has to be one thing that you can drop that would, stay with them for the rest of their lives, literally. Can you please look into your camera and just advise the young people who want to be like you?
Okay. Well, for me, you have to be yourself, no matter how people feel about you being yourself. Be yourself, and that is how you win. You can never be excellent when you're trying to be like others. You can never be unique when you are copying others. You can't be original when you're trying to be a counterfeit. Do you understand? When I travel out of the country, people admire me just for my looks. The same looks that in my country, somebody will see something wrong with it. It gives me a lot of admiration. Somebody likes my hairstyle, they like my carries, they love the fact that I can vibe in different languages, that I can do one thing and the next thing I'm doing the other, and I do all of them perfectly. It is because I've stayed natural. I've stayed in my path, in my lane. I'm not mingling in people affair. They can judge me. I will not come in their area to judge them. They can please themselves, and I don't care. So be yourself. If you are yourself, you can be the best version of you. You don't have to compete. You can only improve upon who you are. We all started and we're not perfect like this. But today, trust me, you can't flaw me in any way.
Yeah, man.
Do you understand?
Ohemaa Woyeje.
I know, boss.
Look, I told you, she brings the energy for two. So that's what it is. It's 20 years putting curves. That's just what God can do. All right, so we've had a nice conversation with Ohemaa. You should check out her book. That's like a lot of things
experience.
Put in she's like 20 on she. So check it out and love on it. Love on her shows and love on her person, because I think that she's a really great person. Now it's the live show, so we're going to go for an Ohemaa Woyeje.
No, the book is available online.
On Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hey, Amazon, what's it?